Welcome back to Willow Springs International Raceway. We've got our hands on two totally tricked out Porsches, and it's going to be a rear engine slugfest, so get ready. On this episode of Head to Head, it's a 997 twin turbo against a 997 GT3, both heavily modded by GMG. This full throttle showdown is brought to you by Royal Purple. The mods from GMG make these two of the gnarliest 997s anywhere. We're running them flat out and then lining them up for a head-to-head drag race. No nonsense, just a hardcore performance shootout. Here are the specs. GMG's performance modifications ratchet up the 3.6-liter twin turbo to 600 horsepower and 590 foot-pounds of torque, while the GT3's normally aspirated 3.6 goes up to 430 horsepower and 340 foot-pounds. The GT3 weighs 350 pounds less, and it'll be $180,000 for the turbo and $195,000 for the GT3. Now let's see what the GMG guys think about this matchup.
Top speed, about 208 miles an hour. 600 horsepower, a little bit heavier than a 997 GT3. He's probably going to be a little quicker in the corners, but I think down the straightaway at this track, the turbo's going to make up for its losses.
This car is set up to turn lap times. It's got everything you could ask for from a race car, but in a street legal car. It may not have the horsepower, but it definitely has the handling and the chassis tuning that will make up for it in the corners. I have confidence that we're going to win today.
Samuel Hubinet is our resident wheelman. He's a two-time Formula Drift champ, factory test driver, and Hollywood stunt driver. On the track, the crazy Swede drives them like he stole them, pushing these cars to their limits and a little beyond. Up next, Sam goes balls out on the track in these rear-engine rockets, and only one can win. So stay tuned, Motorheads. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. In fact, when given the choice, 25 out of 28 of America's top engine builders choose Royal Purple. More horsepower and torque and maximum protection against heat and wear. Royal Purple, the performance oil that outperforms.
There is no spark plug more capable of harnessing power than the patented Denso Iridium Power Spark Plugs. Denso Iridium Power Spark Plugs. For improved horsepower and better fuel economy on any vehicle.
Welcome back to Head to Head's Battle of the 997s at Willow Springs. Today's battle is on the big track. It's 2.5 miles and has 9 turns, one of which is the fastest in the US. And it's also got a front straight where speeds can exceed 150. Now let's see what they're like to drive. It's time for Sammy to unleash these beasts.
997 turbo doesn't get more radical than this. It's got 600 horsepower, 600 foot-pound of torque. This is a beast. Because of the twin turbo, this thing has massive power. Even if it's heavier than the GT3, I think on a track like this thing gotta have it. Woo! Feel the pull, man. It's moving. That's what you get when you have a twin turbo engine. That was 150 miles per hour pretty quick there. That was easy. This thing is coming sideways, even if it's all-wheel drive. I love it. Holy macaroni. It's just shooting yourself out of the corners. Holy moly, this thing is a one badass turbo, dude.
The twin turbo's fast lap was a 131.72 with an average speed of 98.12 miles an hour. Timing segment compliments of Race Pack.
So we're in the Porsche WC GT3 tuned by GMG. Total weight is 3,100 pounds, which is very helpful as you come into the corners and listen to that sound. It's just awesome. We're doing back 25 here in turn 8. You can feel the difference as you exit the corners. You don't have the same amount of power. It's just not there, but you can feel how nimble the car is. It's so much lighter. It's just because of the lower horsepower, it's more forgiving. Porsche, you know, you got so much power, you gotta watch it, because even if it's all-wheel drive, the Porsche Turbo still will pitch out the rear end. Here we're going, we're doing 130, 140, not bad.
Amazingly, the GT3 was almost 1 full second quicker with a 130.75 and an average speed of 99.17 miles an hour. Now what you've been waiting for, the twin-turbo and GT3 in a quarter-mile drag race. 2 professional drivers and no tricks. Here it goes. The twin-turbo annihilates the GT3. It's time to tally the score. The engine easily goes to the twin-turbo with 600 horsepower and 590 foot-pounds of torque. The quarter mile is owned by the Turbo 2. It crushed the GT3. Handling, however, goes to the GT3. It's on rails, which is why the quick lap also goes to the GT3. That's a tie, 2-2. So which is it gonna be? This head-to-head victory goes to the badass GMG 997 Twin Turbo. If you're a track day warrior, the GMG GT3 is for you. But we'll take the all-wheel drive turbo. It'll eat the GT3 alive in any real-world street race. It'll also scare the living out of you. And that's our idea of a good time. So until next time, lads, we're out of here. Next week on Head to Head, we're back at Willow Springs with 2 factory-tweaked Japanese club racers. The Honda S2000 CR takes on the Nissan 350Z Nismo in a head-to-head performance showdown.